Hi everyone, my name is Gauthier, one of the co-founders of Ferme, Ardhi, born and raised in the Netherlands with Congolese roots. And basically, it is my Congolese roots that activated me and my friends, the other co-founders, to take a trip to Congo-Kinshasa, the big Congo. A trip where we would explore the country a bit more and seek for opportunities where we could help ourselves by helping others as the social entrepreneurs that we are. Well, basically, during one of our many business trips within Kinshasa, we ended up in this beautiful area called Gili Brasserie, next to the Gili River, approximately 1.5 hours from Kinshasa, the city center, and with over 20 million inhabitants. And basically, when we were there, we could see there was an area where mostly the people were farmers and based their livelihood on farming. But a lot of them didn't have sufficient funds to be sustainable. And this is where we knew we could step in and add some value. So we decided to get into farming. Well, basically, as a group, we unanimously decided to start a farming project by first buying the land with our own money and to build together with the locals for a sustainable farming project where the locals can profit from together with us. And that's where we discovered that there's more than enough to profit from and to share with the local area where the farming project is done correctly. And sharing by using a part of the profit for a massive social impact. And yeah, that means that we're taking a responsibility together for a better farm, for a better life. And of course, it was a great plan, although we thought so. But just like any other great idea, especially in Africa, you will encounter some obstacles, some bigger than others. But we were determined to overcome it all, and eventually we did. We had built the farming project to a milestone where we were with more than 50 locals working at the farm to make sure that the first harvest would succeed. And I'm speaking about last year when we started. And the harvest succeeded also. And basically the next milestone that we're having right now is to go from 1.3 ton that we did to 98 ton in the next quarter of 2023. So basically we're already on a good path, but with more support together, we can do so much more and especially faster. And by already setting up a good example, by having successfully invested approximately 100K within our own budget over a year's time, and the investment went to, of course, to research and development, setting up an infrastructure, buying and prepping the land, setting up the team, and all the things that were necessary to make it profitable together with the locals. We succeeded. And we saw that it was just the beginning, and if we could do it, others can do it too. So we were very inspired to make this even bigger with others who are also very eager and inspired to invest in Congo or in Africa in general and make a great social impact, but don't know how, or have a long distance to the case, or are scared due to negative stories of the past, and of course the obstacles as mentioned before. And so basically, the next question that we were asking ourselves was, how can we bridge this gap? How can we make sure that it's accessible for people, for example, in Amsterdam or in Brussels or wherever in the world, or in Congo even, to contribute to the plan and build something sustainable for the locals? Well, what if we could build a platform where people could just plug and play, easily invest, and trust the cycle we already ignited? By building a peer-to-peer lending platform that brings landowners, farmers, and investors together, starting with an accessible sum of money to easily take part in for a good return by creating more for others. Just by hopping on our boat, duplicating it, and building with us, with the locals, to an even bigger project with a massive social impact, and of course, with a good profit for the investors as well. In this way, we will help make the local self-sufficient in building the livelihood and with all the advantages of the social impact. And by doing so, it's not even a what if anymore, but when shall it be done? Well, we partnered up with a very strong company named Yenatech. Yenatech is specialized in blockchain, and basically they will take care of all the back-end and technical developments to make sure the platform works correctly, so that it can succeed, of course, in cooperation with the local team that we built in Congo, with each their own expertise, as you can see. And last but not least, with our team here in the Netherlands, consisting of me and the other co-founders, We are a very diverse group, I can say, and we already have some experience with setting up multiple successful businesses in the Netherlands and even in East Africa. And one of them is also in partnership with the Burundian government even. So we do have some baggage some baggage if it comes to doing business in Africa. Well, why am I here? Why are we here as a group, basically? What do we need from you, sharks, dolphins? Well, we need 500K to speed up the process, to buy and add 50 acres of land, set up the infrastructure for sustainable farming, and build a platform. And like we said before, once the platform is up and running, everything will take care of itself. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. So that's the last pitch of today. Questions? I can only see part of the faces. Yes, now I can see everybody again. Tom, the first question.
Okay, thanks so much for the presentation. We as Robert Project work also a lot in the emerging markets, so that's really great to see what you're doing. Can you just a bit elaborate how your farm is being run? I mean, you show the people that are running it, or at least that are involved locally, but they are the farm management. And apparently it was easy to acquire, which to me sounds always a bit difficult in a foreign country to acquire land and run it. So can you explain how it was to acquire the land, grow the crops, and apparently scale and execute that scaling? That part of the farming, I just want to understand a bit better.
Yeah, definitely. We had a very good contact that used to live in Brussels and work for Heineken brand, and he moved from Heineken to Kinshasa. And when he was in Kinshasa, he changed basically his whole career by entering the real estate business there. And through an acquaintance of ours, we came in contact with him, and he loved our spirit basically. And he's the one that advised us that he could help us through all the administration that he had already overcome when it comes to obstacles to obtain land in the correct way. And the most beautiful part was that the land where we bought, the whole area is focused on farming. So every person basically on the road is a farmer and basically lived there their whole life. And yeah, basically everybody there is an agronome. So everybody can explain to you how things work there, how everything grows there, what products you can do, what products you can't do. And that was basically very organic and natural, because we just were talking with the people there. They live with it, they grew up with it. So we weren't really reinventing things, just making sure that the opportunity was there to take it to practice, basically.
Yeah. Okay, thanks so much. What's kind of sticking with me is your last comment: just give us the money and then everything will turn out right. I think that needs a bit more. That's kind of. No, I don't understand what was you trying to say, but it kind of. There needs a bit more proof points there, I think. But maybe some other people have other questions.
We're building the platform. We're trying to bridge the gap, but we're bridging the gap with ourselves as an example. So we literally are showing you guys we also have skin in the game, and we aren't, although we have experience, but with the minimum experience that people have, they can literally jump on and do exactly what we did. And like you said, of course we do need some investment to scale, but the process to scale was already there. So that's why we literally are showing people, we're asking you because we are also doing it ourselves. It's not just that we're not having any skin in the game. So if you're thinking that, well, maybe it's a risk, well, you're taking it together. We're on the same ship, on the same boat, and when it sinks, we'll sink all together. But we already have proven that it's not sinking, we're still here. So that's the message that we're sending to people, especially that aren't that connected to to Congo, to Africa, by bridging the gap.
Okay,
Great.
thank
Thanks
you.
so much.
Hans.
Where I do have to admit that I haven't been paying attention enough, maybe. So you can probably say, so what about the sushi would be my question. No, the question is, so how many cycles have you done this? What's the return? And what does the local team look like?
Well, the local team right now is consists of, the management is basically seven person, and based on the phase of farming where we are, that's where we decide how many people are going to work at the farm, because basically the people that we need to have to work on the farm are already there, and just waiting for us to ask them to help us basically on the farm to set up the project. We already have now, I think it's the 4th harvest that we're already having right now.
Yes.
So we directly started basically last year, or the beginning of this year. And the products that we're harvesting are basic products that basically the whole world needs, even a vegan sushi bar. So, and with only having 1.5 hour of distance from the city center with 20 million inhabitants, in Holland we already have 70 million. Just to give you an example, with 1.5 hour we have a backyard with 20 million people that also need tomatoes, cucumbers, aubergine, eggplants, and those kind of products. The selling part is the most easiest, because that's already what people literally want, and the processing part is also not that hard, because people live like that already there. So the hardest part was setting up the management team, because they were like the translation between what we would like to add to the farming project and what's already existing there. And we found them through one of them is family, and they are specialized in agriculture, and one of them is also one of the major agronomes in the area. So basically, we hopped on also experiences of people that already are doing it in the area and don't need to reinvent things.